Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Nick and Jeff show. We've got the Up and Go exclusive Nick.
Hello.
And you've got just Jeff drinking wine, which I never have. And why am I saying this straight away? I don't know, Nick.
Why are you drinking wine? Oh God,
Nick, I think...
Have you had too much wine?
I don't know. There is a story. But Nick, this week, we don't really have anything specific to talk about. But I think we'll manage it. The people will listen to us. And people, if you're listening, remember you can always watch us on YouTube. And if you're watching, you can listen to us on all the podcasts. But really, this episode is just Jeff. And we got just Nick.
Just Jeff and Nick. For
Nick,
just Jeff
you've
and
been
Jeff.
you've been a busy boy this week.
I have been a busy
I feel
boy
like,
this week.
you know, working, commitments, life.
Mm-hmm.
You got that up and go to make you happy.
I do.
Have you been playing any video games, Nick, this week? What you been playing, Nick? Tell me. Whilst I drink my $5 wine.
Is it Moscato? Is that what it is?
Actually, I don't know. I went to Dan Murphy's. I just want to say this. I went to Dan Murphy's. I never drink wine, and it was like $4.99 for a bottle of wine. And I'm like, this has to be disgusting. I don't like wine in the first place. And it's like, you know, hibiscus and rose and lime or something. And it turns out it's actually really good. I think it's called Sweet Lips.
It's probably Moscato.
Just like me. Sweet Lips wine. Sponsor us.
Right. Anyway,
tell me what you've been playing.
So Wednesday, Thursday, I've been very busy with work and just general training and exercise. So gym is always important.
Keeping Queenslanders safe. We'll just say that.
Keeping the community safe, as they say. But on Monday and Tuesday, I had the days off. Oh no, wait, I can't remember if I did. Anyway, Tuesday,
you wanted me to call in sick Monday, but I rejected you.
I did. That's right, I did.
So you must have played something.
Yes, I've been playing Hogwarts Legacy, and and Metroid Prime.
Nick, I've also been playing those two games, but one has just captured my attention far, far more than the other. And I want to think we're opposite. What have you been playing more?
Honestly, it's about the same. I reckon I've played 4 hours played about 4 hours of Metroid, and I reckon maybe 5 or 6 of Hogwarts Legacy. Slightly more Hogwarts Legacy.
Well, tell me about Hogwarts Legacy. What house are you in?
I am Hufflepuff. I wasn't happy about it, but I am now.
Do you like the hat sorting thing?
Look,
I thought there'd be more to it.
Yeah, I thought there'd be a little bit more to it as well. But I did the test online. You know, it wasn't like a generic Facebook one. It was like on the official Harry Potter website, whatever it is, house sorting thing.
Yeah, I did that a few years ago.
Yeah, and it sorted me into Hufflepuff then. And I wasn't sure if that was the one that carried over, or if it was the few questions that I answered when I booted up the game. But it put me in Hufflepuff again, and I feel like that really sets the nail on the coffin that that's where I belong. I wasn't happy about it years ago, but I'm like, if this is where I'm supposed to be, I guess this is my house.
I like not being in Slytherin or Gryffindor because I feel like, you know, the movie covered those two houses. I'm a Ravenclaw, apparently, but I felt like the hat sorting thing was going to be really important, and I literally felt like it asked me one question: are you courageous? You know, are you on the sly? Are you curious? And whatever. Like, I just felt like it was just one question.
Yeah.
And then it was like, do you want this house we chose for you or not? What? Was there more than one question? Do I have that wrong?
I'm not sure. That might be something. Well, because did you link your Warner Brothers account or whatever it is, all that stuff on the phone?
No, I gave up on that so hard.
Okay.
I don't care.
Yeah, man, I was not happy about that. Well, yeah, because that on the website that through the phone when I finally linked it, it gave me my wand, told me what my wand was, which I then later on got in the game, and I think it said my house as well. So,
oh wow,
I think it linked all that up. But
so
I don't
you
know
didn't go to the wand store to choose your wand.
I did.
You got chosen for you.
I did go to the wand store to, I guess, pick up my wand, but it already. He was like, "Oh, try this one. Nope. Try this one. Nope. Try this one." Perfect. And then the one that it matched me with was the same one that I got in the app. So I'm sure there's someone listening to us who's a lot more into Harry Potter or Hogwarts Legacy.
That's cool. Yeah, I just chose a wand. Chose some. It was, it's like customizing your character. It was like customizing wand.
Oh, right. Yeah, it gave me that option, but it was also like, hey, here's your wand. This is what was made for you, but you can customize it if you want. And I was like, no, if this is what I'm supposed to have, I'm taking it.
So I've done like the tutorial classes, and I went to Hogsmeade.
Yep.
And I've literally got my wand, and that is where I've stopped. So I think I've played maybe 2 hours at the very most, if I'm generous.
Oh, okay.
So what's the rest of the game like for you so far?
I'll be honest, I haven't actually got much further in the story per se. I've only just gotten the fire spell. What's the fire spell? Oh no, I've also got I've also got like the turn invisible spell. I did what's the Incendio? So I got Incendio, ran around the castle doing that for a while, and then there's like a little invisibility quest. So you sneak into like the restricted section of the library and get some stuff there. But I've been doing a lot of the stuff around the castle. So I've been exploring. I've spent a couple hours literally just exploring the castle, finding the mirrors, leading the moths back to the mirror. Solving the puzzles of the the dice roll with the animals that have different numbers linked to them. There's the levitation statues where you levitate and you find the other hidden pages. I've been doing a heap of Revelio to find a bunch of other hidden pages. And then like Incendio to light torches to get more hidden pages. And I've just been collecting a lot of pages, really.
What's the one where it brings it to you?
Accio.
What's that spell?
Accio.
That's probably one of the only few spells I've actually got. Man, it felt good.
Yeah, it does feel good.
Like the dual sense must do something, and it feels like it's coming to you. Either that's through like the headphones and the feedback on the controller, but like I really enjoyed pressing that button combination. And
I like that it's not. I had such little hopes for this game, and I thought, when I saw these pieces of paper flying around and they're 50 meters away, I'm like, that's not going to work. Accio. Oh, it did work. It was. I thought it would be a little bit like the crows in God of War. I'd be like, Accio. But no, as long as you're sort of even remotely looking at it, it knows you're like, yep, that's what I want, Accio, and it just comes straight to you. I really like that. Like, I haven't been. The game has caused me no frustrations or anything. The only things that I saw a bunch of reviews that gave it 9 out of 10s, and I've been looking for. I'm like, where does the point drop? And I think the point drops so far in maybe just a little bit of the voice acting. There's some characters that I'm just like, that is an appalling voice.
Are they too British?
No, they talk like this. This is my voice, and it's like, oh God, what? No.
Do we have different NPCs? Like, I've got some, like a woman from Africa, and she's got like this really cool African accent. Yeah. Sounds awesome. And then some other, like, I feel like it's just like a British teenager.
Yeah. I have
like my two friends or whatever.
Yeah, I have the chick from Uganda as well. I reckon everyone probably has the same.
Okay, so it's the same. It's the same for every house then.
I'm assuming. I wouldn't be surprised if they're maybe like they have different face models or something, but it's probably the same character as a guess.
Okay.
But
I can't sit at the same time, Nick.
But it's bad podcasting. But I do really like. I think the world is beautiful. It looks great. It feels alive. It feels very Hogwarts. And just everything feels how it should. Like it's. I was talking to Emily about it. How I think it is just. It's amazing that this game hasn't happened sooner, because the whole Hogwarts.
Yeah, it really is.
The whole Wizarding world is perfect for a video game. You think about like you are literally a wizard. You're learning spells. You're casting spells. You're using magic. It's a magical land with magical creatures. You have a broom you fly around on, and like it is the perfect game for like the template is already there. They just had to it's essentially like a paint by numbers of a video game. Everything's there. You just have to put it on there and not stuff it up, and like the source material's there, so it's just like even if the game was a 6 out of 10, it still would have sold gangbusters. But it's actually really fun. Actually, really fun. Yeah.
I've played an hour here, an hour there, and like while I'm like, this is neat, this is good, I just feel like Metroid Prime is calling me more. and I can't stop playing Metroid Prime Remastered. Like, it is just the ultimate comfort food, Nick. And like, yes, I know I've played this game before, but it's amazing how good it still is and how modern it still feels.
Yep.
And is it only because I know what this game is, right? Or is it really that good? And I'm hoping it's really that good. Like, for anyone, if anyone is new and never played Metroid Prime or is playing it, somehow let me know what their experience is like. I feel like I generally know where to go, but others might not. And it takes probably like 5 minutes before a like incoming beacon if you get stuck and you don't know what general direction you should be going in.
Yeah.
But it's just always fun stumbling across, got a new power up. Oh, I'll just go back. Oh, look, here's a curious door or thing that I know what it does. Like, it's just always so satisfying.
No, I agree. I would be curious to see, like, if anyone's listening to this, if they are playing Metroid for the first time, what their thoughts on it are, because it is very nostalgic for me as well. Like, I boot up the game and you sort of, I roughly know where to go. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I remember then this part and then this part, and then I'm about to get, I get the missiles first, then I get the charge beam. Spoiler alert for the rest. So, I haven't really been lost per se just yet, and like, there's a few secrets that I'm like, I know that this is a breakable wall, and there's a secret behind there. So there's a couple of those, but I definitely don't remember them all. So I can't help but wonder if they've done any sort of... Do you know if they've done any quality of life improvements? Like, at the end, it tells you...
No.
That you can, like...
I mean, I guess I don't know. But I know, like, there is the 12 artifacts you've got to find, right? And then, from my experience, I think I found 5 so far. And it's sort of been because, you've got a new power-up, and the game sort of funnels you smartly into, like, this direction, back to an area where you've been, and you're like, oh, I can just go over to this door I couldn't get to before.
Yeah.
And then there's an artifact there. What I didn't know, what I couldn't remember, is power bombs.
Yes.
Like, I honestly couldn't remember if power bombs were in the game. Spoilers, they are.
Yeah, they are.
But there was like a lot of things. I'm like, you can only destroy this Bendesium. Like, this is Bendesium. I'm like, missiles don't work. Super missiles don't work. Bombs don't work. Like, it's got to be a power bomb, right? It's got to be a power bomb.
Yep.
And then you go through some corridor, and I'm like, this is the Super Metroid power bomb corridor moment.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know what that is.
No, I think I know what you're talking about. It's been a while, but
and I'm like, there's definitely super missiles in this game. Super power bombs in this game. But
I kind of, now that you say it, I kind of wish it was more of a remake than a remaster. So pretty much the exact same thing, but just with some quality of life improvements. So if there's things that you missed scanning, like maybe, I don't want missable scan, like things that are missable for scanning, and you have to play a whole new game to get it all.
I freaked out. I fought some enemy that was partially invisible.
Yeah.
And I tried scanning it, and I couldn't.
Oh.
And I never made it visible. So I'm like, and I've killed it. I'm like, oh no, is this... Have I missed this scan?
Yeah.
But I still think bosses will be missable. And I think... there is no like, hey, this room is green or red, or there's a circle or a dot.
Look,
that's not there in the map. I don't know if it'll be there at the end.
Yeah.
But I definitely know there's no indication that you've got everything in this room.
Yeah. Something that something that is very frustrating for me, which means I may not scan everything just out of sheer frustration. But being colorblind, there's like, you got the things that scan, but they don't record in the logbook, and then the ones that do record in the logbook. And the difference is, it's, at least for my eyes, it's like 1 millimeter of a shade, like slightly darker, I think, but I can't tell.
From memory, I know they improved that in the later games, right? They mixed up the scanning entirely, like, so it's a very different view. I feel like there's orange scans and red scans.
Yeah.
And red scans, like, it's pretty damn obvious. Here's a computer panel. It's red. You scan it. Like, but you could you could miss it in theory, but there's other ones that are like really obvious, like Chozo lore that's glowing,
Yeah,
right?
really
Like
obvious.
you won't miss scanning that if that's what you want to do.
Yeah,
And
and
I've enjoyed like reading all the stuff in the scans.
yeah, me
Kinda
too.
cool.
I don't think I really understood the story. I think in the first one, but reading, like the meteor came down and there's this thing going around and it's just destroying Aegis 7 and et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, I have enjoyed the bits of the story that I've played so far. But unfortunately, I've been at work and I've got overtime tomorrow and I've got Spider-Man gig on Saturdays and then I've got a couple of days off that I might enjoy. But
it's consuming. It's beaten Harry Potter, Fire Emblem. I stopped caring about those things. I just want to play Metroid.
I think
another thing I do want to say, Nick, about the scans.
Yeah.
Like, cool. They're like modern, olden day versions of what's the information logs you'd pick up in games like Dead Space and stuff.
yeah, just data entries,
notes and stuff. Data entries. They're short.
yes,
Really short. They're like 1 or 2 sentences max.
yeah.
Like, it's just like, cool, I can read this, move on.
Yeah, there's some.
I can read this, I can move on. It's not forever.
Yeah, there were a few in Dead Space that like I would read when I was streaming, and then there were some that were some that were this long, and some that were this long, and I was like, nah, next. And so I appreciate that they're nice and short. But no, I'm glad Metroid's there. I like to think, and I hope that you will go back to Harry Potter when you're done with Metroid, because I've really
want
been having
to.
fun.
I feel like I
Yeah,
paid for it.
yeah, true. I think you'll go back to it, and I think you'll be having a bit more fun then. But it's I think you just have to play a little bit more before it will hook you. And I've really enjoyed exploring the castle. But what else is going on? Have you? I've been listening to Kind of Funny a little bit, talking about PSVR or PSVR 2.
Yes. Is
I-
it out?
20. I think it's like next week, or the week after, 26th or 27th. I want to
Nick,
say,
if you buy it, I will try it.
yeah.
If you don't buy it, I will never try it, and I will never care.
Yeah, I
Do
cancelled
you
my
want to pay more than the PS5 to get this experience?
$50 less than the PS5. Oh, unless you get the disc-free version, then it's $50 more. I guess, yeah. So I had $100 deposit down, and then after that Nintendo Direct, where it was like, hit Zelda, Pikmin, you can pre-order them now, and Metroid, I went in, cancelled the $100, got it put onto the eShop gift cards, and used that to buy 2 tickets to buy Zelda and Pikmin. So I was like, as much as I really would like to buy PSVR 2, that's just buying the VR itself. Like, it doesn't come with anything.
Well, don't you get Call of the Mountain?
No,
Horizon?
that's an additional.
Well, that's the more expensive bundle.
That's a more expensive bundle. And like I really enjoyed PSVR 1, but I played it for about a year on and off, and then I never touched it again. And I just can't justify spending $900 nearly on something that I just. Ugh.
I remember that Batman experience, and I enjoyed it. Yes, I was quite sick afterwards. Right, like
Yes.
really sick that I never want to do VR ever again.
Yep.
I think you made me play Resident Evil 7, and after 5 minutes, I was like, I cannot do this. I will not do this. And I don't think I had played Resident Evil 7 at the time either.
Yep.
I have zero desire
Yeah.
to ever put a VR on my face again.
From everything I've seen, it looks really comfortable, and the display being as high quality as it is, people are getting less sick.
The pixels sound, sound
Impressive.
like there's a lot of pixels there.
But it's just like $600. I would probably get it on Afterpay and just pay it off over like a month, and it wouldn't feel as.
Wait, are you sure it's $600? I thought it was like close to $900.
No, that's what I'm saying. If it was $600, but it is. It's like
okay.
it's like $850, I think.
It's a lot.
It is a lot, right? It's so expensive, and there's I don't know. The only thing I'm because you can't even play the old PSVR 1 games on it because the resolution is all
separate.
So it's literally whatever's coming out. That's what they're for. That's what they're for, and no doubt they'll port a bunch of stuff that's already on Oculus and everything. But like the only game that I even remotely want to play is Resident Evil Village, which I've already played to death.
Yes.
But like, I mean, so yeah, you're right. Like I guess PSVR Worlds was cool. I played the Iron Man VR, Batman VR, Resident Evil. I played the entire game of that in VR, which, man, I feel like Resident Evil 7, I feel like that ruined that experience for me playing that in VR because I was just so sick by the end. And the Star Wars, the Star Wars game was probably my favorite. Like just sitting in an X-wing and like pushing all the buttons in it, having like the top come down, the wings open, and then flying around in space.
Cool.
That like it sitting on my couch with the headphones in, like it looking around and hearing the other ships and the radio. Like I felt like an X-wing pilot, and like that was just a unforgettable experience that I will cherish forever. But
I guess what I can't quite comprehend, right? Like, okay, $850. Yes, it's a lot of money. And like, again, I admit I know nothing about VR. $850 is a lot cheaper than all the other setups, right?
Yeah.
Even when you add in a PS5, and PSVR 2 or whatever is probably way cheaper than Oculus and having a high-end PC and all the other equipment that's attached to having that experience.
No doubt.
But the people that love, I think the people that love VR have already got it and they're already PC enthusiasts, right? Why would they spend more money on a PS5 version that maybe is a little better, but it's probably not like that much better? But it's probably like, and other than Horizon Call of the Mountain or whatever, is there any other killer experience games that are like, cool, you can only get this on PS5? Like, is there anything like that? Like, I want to play Half-Life Alyx, but I don't want to put on a headset enough to play that, and that's not coming to PSVR 2. Wow, that I've heard anyway.
There was another game that I really wanted to play. Gran Turismo 7 looked really cool. Like that was getting really great reviews on, at least as far as the
driving.
Yeah, as far as like people that have it already and people that have been experiencing it. Yeah, like Gran Turismo, especially if you can get that set up, which again is then like another $300-400 of the steering wheel and the pedals. But that looks really cool. It looks like a lot of fun. But there's like, what else I got? Resident Evil 4 Remake is apparently going to be for PSVR 2. Runner, Among Us, Lo-Fi, Walking Dead, Gran Turismo, Ghostbusters. Maybe I'd play that, but like I'd play Ghostbusters VR if it was free. But then I have to pay another.
You're gonna have to pay.
Then I have to pay like another $50.
This is what I also think about. Like, I know there's VR experiences at the Gold Coast. I can't remember what they're called. But, like, to me, in my mind, the VR stuff is like a destination. Like, cool, let's gear up. Let's do the VR. Let's go have that experience. Let's go have that fun. Cool. You've just done a hard day of work. You've just done karate. I'm going to sit down and play VR. Like, I can't imagine you doing that.
Yeah, you're right.
You just want to you just sit on the couch, kick back, and play your games, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to put the headset on and you said you're not buying it, but like, do you want to put all that stuff on to go do that thing to relax and chill out? Like, and I'm pretty time poor. Like,
yeah.
I feel like you need to commit to that, and why would you want to commit all that effort when you've only got 30 minutes or an hour or whatever?
Like, if they were to make another Star Wars game, again, it's another thing that'd be like, oh, maybe I'd be more... actually, there is like some sort of Star Wars game that's coming out for it, but it's not... I don't know if you're flying around in X-Wings and stuff, but someone might fix me on that, but I'm pretty sure...
Doesn't everyone want to be a lightsaber?
No, I think it's like called Tales from the Galaxy or something. There is some sort of Star Wars VR game coming out, but it looked different, and apparently it's like made for PSVR too. But there was also so the place you were talking about is called Zero Latency.
That's it. That's the one.
Yeah, I've done it once before.
I would do that.
Yeah,
I would do that.
I've done that once before, and I would highly recommend. I would love to go and do it with you. The games aren't too crash hot. Maybe they've improved them over the last couple of years, but putting on your pack and like carrying around a gun that feels like a physical gun and walking around in a big warehouse space, like it's pitch black in there with all the things all over the ground, but the games are programmed to just it's so cool, so cool. I really, really enjoyed.
Yeah, I mean, I would risk feeling sick to do that.
Right, we'll have to put it on like a Nick and Jeff to-do list. I think, yeah. Is there anything else you're looking forward to? Like anything else you're playing at the moment?
Really, like Fire Emblem Engage just hasn't engaged me. Like I don't know.
I'm
I
surprised
knew I
you
wasn't
bought
going
that.
to. Like, you know, the game came out and I'm like, oh, all the reviews are here. It's all the hype, and like, I knew I didn't want it,
Yeah.
and every time I pick up and play, it's perfect for like a chapter.
Yeah.
And then I'm just like, oh, cool, I'm going to do the chapter a night. And I did that for a while, but then I'm just like, oh, yeah, I really should do that chapter. Sleep. Like,
Yeah.
you know, and I've got, I think, chapter 12 or 13 or something. And there's some side logs. And I like the combat. And you know what? I will admit, I put it on normal, no death mode, right?
Oh, yep.
So,
Yep.
like a casual as can be, right?
Yep.
Normal
Yep.
casual or whatever it is. So
Yep.
it doesn't matter if anyone dies,
Yep.
and I don't feel bad about it. I don't care, and I don't feel stressed as well. But there's just, like I like the combat, but it's just all these other systems and like getting people's weapons and getting people's bond rings, like the old Fire Emblem characters paired to the right character, having to like level up their bond to steal, like I guess absorb their move onto the person, move the ring to someone else,
God, it sounds boring.
and worry about classes like sort of being next to each other so that they talk and level up, and all this stuff is totally skippable.
And not fun.
Like it's got auto equip all weapons for all characters. I hit
Yeah.
that every single time.
Yep.
But I just feel like all the system just sort of it bogged me down, and I'm just like that I can't be bothered to playing because I feel like if I just click next chapter, like I'm doing it wrong and I've missed out on stuff.
Yeah. See, I wonder if you'll go back to that because, like, I have no desire.
I don't know if I will. Metroid Prime is just like pew pew pew, fun.
I think because I think we both agreed when we watched the direct. I was like, I wasn't really ready and didn't really want another Fire Emblem. But then after watching the trailer, I was like, it does look cool. I kind of want it. But
it looks great. Like it really looks great.
But I'd only want it if it was like $20, I think. And then even then I might play it, but
Never will be.
Yeah, which it never will be. And I'm just like, well, sorry, Fire Emblem, it's just not happening. And I looked up the price for Tales of Symphonia, which I think that's out now, maybe, or maybe it's out soon.
To skip that one, Nick.
Skip that. No, I will finish it before the end of the year. Mark my words. Timestamp this. I will finish Tales of Symphonia before the end of the year, as long as it drops in price. I need a 50% off sale because
it will. Well, I bought Tales of Vesperia. I think it's that one.
Yeah.
And I think I played at least 20 hours.
Yeah.
And I think it's a 40-hour adventure, which
Yep.
to me sounded like okay for a big RPG.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I've stopped because I got halfway. But there were so many more quality of life improvements over Tales of Symphonia
Yeah.
that I'm like, this is much better. But I still dropped off.
Yeah, right. I don't know. I'd like to see if it's still as fun.
But
as
I heard the Switch. I don't know if it's a Switch version. I don't know if it's coming to other consoles. But like I heard, it's not 60 frames per second.
Oh,
Even
God.
though the GameCube one was.
Oh God.
I mean, I'm happy to be wrong about that, but I'm trying to persuade you that it won't be worth your time.
If it's not 60 frames a second, I will not buy it. That is not acceptable for a 2002 game to be HD remastered in 2023. It's like
I think
21
it's
years
HD
later.
port, Nick. I
21
wouldn't say
years
remaster.
later. If it's 21 years later and it's still somehow it's 30 frames a second, even apparently less than what no. I will not tolerate that, and they will never
I
get my
would
money.
definitely, Nick. I'd wait. Use that Deku Deals, website to see
yep.
when Tales games go on sale. It will. Then you can buy it then.
What about Resident Evil 4. Have you watched? I was talking to a guy at work about it today, and I'll buy it, but I haven't really watched anything on it. Have you seen trailers?
I don't want to. Like,
yeah,
you know, Nick, I picked this game at least 14 times.
Yeah,
I tell people at least definitely 10 times on the GameCube. Without a doubt, I do not doubt that for 1 second.
Yep.
Once on the PS2 to play Ada separate ways. Like, how could they ruin that GameCube exclusivity and then put extra content on the PS2?
PlayStation?
I had to play it.
Yep.
I've done it at least 3 times on the Wii.
Yep.
And then I think you might have bought like the PS4 HD port. Maybe
I did. Yep.
PS3. I didn't
PS3.
play that one at PS3
and PS4.
And then I bought it again on Switch at full price.
Yeah, you make a good point. Yeah, because I bought like a HD port on PS3, and then it was like a pre-order content for, I think, Resident Evil Village.
That seems okay. That's a good deal.
It was,
but you know, so I and you have consumed this game so much, right?
Yeah,
and I've other than like an E3 trailer, I've pretty much avoided anything else to do with the game because I know Resident Evil 4 back to front.
Yep.
And I know how good the PS2, the RE2 and RE3 remakes were, or RE2 one was like phenomenal.
Yeah.
So good, right? And then I worry, like Resident Evil 4 was already so good. Is it going to be the same game like that I have already played and I will enjoy it with just like super ultra HD graphics? Or is it going to be a reinvention? And again, I admit I haven't watched enough, but I don't think it's going to be a complete reinvention. Like it'll be, the enemies will have all new animations.
Yeah.
There'll be new moves. I'm pretty sure you can finally move and shoot. Not that I care about that. Stop, pop, and lock. Great, still love it.
Yeah.
But I worry that it'll follow the exact same path that I already know every single beat.
I see what you mean. I'm sure there will still be like new secrets and stuff, but looking at the screenshots that I've seen, it looks like a completely different game, which I appreciate. But at the same time, from basing it on literally just the 4 or 5 screenshots that I've seen of like Lewis, of Leon, of Ashley, of what's the little prince dude.
Yeah.
Sadler.
I should know.
Yeah. But
I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah, the little boy who now looks like a 50-year-old man.
Ramon Salazar or something. Salazar.
Ramon Salazar, yeah. Ramon Salazar. Yeah. It looks like they might be sacrificing fun for scary, which I don't...
Ooh. And RE4 was so fun.
Yeah. And I wonder if it'll have the same level of fun or if they're just going for more horror this time. Because everything I've seen looks a lot darker and more gritty and more like serious. And I wonder if it's... I mean, I guess when Resident Evil 4 came out, I guess it maybe looked serious to us, and then we played it a bunch and we're like, this is so much fun. But I guess Dead Space Remake looks really serious, and I still had a ton of fun with that. So maybe...
Well, didn't they have basketball? I don't know. What was the basketball game I watched you play?
Oh, yeah.
Skee-ball?
Space basketball, whatever the hell it is. Basketball, hoops in space, whatever that was. Yeah. I still had a heap of fun playing Dead Space, so maybe not. But it looks like, from the pictures that I've seen, which is really baseless, that it looks like it's more serious than fun, which I hope it is not the case.
Like, there's no doubt in my mind the game will be phenomenal and fun, right? I just worry, is it an experience I already know?
Yeah.
So, wait to be seen.
You know what I was thinking about today, quickly, is I wonder if a game will ever hook us the same way, because there's people that, like, everyone knows Nick's the gamer. Nick plays anything and everything. But there's these plenty of people that I meet in the world that just play Call of Duty, that just play Dota, that just play Fortnite, that just
do it.
That just play...
How do they spend so many hours doing the same stuff?
I mean, I played 400 hours of Pokemon Unite like a crazy person. But that was during...
There were special circumstances that led to that.
There were special circumstances, yeah, that led to my spiral of craziness and my comfort every day. So maybe that was an exception to the rule, but like, man, I wonder if there's a game like that will just play forever and ever and ever. Apart from Pikmin.
Wow. No, Resident Evil 4, we did, but like, also, the GameCube was when I was a teenager, right?
Yeah, you had no money.
You had lots of time, and you didn't. Oh, I didn't have lots of money, so you played the game you had, and you played it again. So
and you made your own trophy list.
Yeah, now it's one and done, right?
Yeah,
like I very rarely will replay a game. Like, cool, done, had that experience.
Yeah,
and especially now that there's achievements and trophies, like getting the platinum means the game. Well, to me,
is done.
There's a 99% chance the game is dead to you after that.
Forever. Yep.
Like, you'll never touch it again.
Yep. So, yeah, some of the guys would like, "Oh, have you played Elden Ring?" I'm like, "Yep, loved it, amazing game, and I never want to see it again." The same thing you told me when you gave it to me. Like, it's the best game I've ever played, and I never want to play it ever again. And yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm just be curious to wonder if there's going to be something like that. That I don't think that's us. I don't know if that'll ever be us.
Well, and I was thinking, me talking about Fire Emblem Engage, like I've dropped off some RPG, Mario plus Rabbids, which I think is RPG style or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, turn-based and Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
And like, to me, and playing Metroid Prime is like, I've realized all these games have systems and options and like things that bog down the experience.
Yep.
And even playing some of Harry Potter, right? Like, I know I'm only just on the ice, just skirting the ice on Harry Potter, but like, here's all these systems, here's all these activities to do, here's all these collectibles, and it's just like, to me, like, oh, there's just so much going on that I stopped caring.
Yeah.
And to me, coming back to play Metroid Prime is like, cool. There is power-ups that generally require a puzzle.
Yeah.
To make you feel smart.
Yeah.
And then there's just like, keep going forward. And like, it just feels nice not to worry about all these systems and like making sure that you're doing the right thing or optimizing your builds.
Comfort food.
Pairing this option with that option.
Yeah. Yeah, comfort food. You know what you're doing. Same thing when we get Resident Evil 4. Like, I feel like my brain will remember where most of the secrets are, and I'll just cruise through that, and we'll have a whole heap of fun. But anyway, we got 2 minutes left. You want to take us home?
No, Nick, I'm going to drink my wine. My $5 wine. I brought us in. Take us out.
Bitch, you had like a centimeter of that wine. Skull. Well, hopefully you've enjoyed this little intimate chat between Nick and Jeff. We didn't really have a topic this week, so if you have a topic for us, leave a comment and let us know a topic. But we've got other things in the works. We'll probably
Nick, I can give a 1-minute review of Quantum Mania.
No. We can save that. I have to go see Quantum Mania. We'll probably do a podcast on Harry Potter when we're done with that, maybe. Maybe we can do one on Metroid when we're done with that. But it was just to catch up on what we've been playing and what's going on. But yeah, you can find us at youtube.com/NickandJeff, Facebook.com/NickandJeff, and on podcast services of your choice. And I always need to thank Jeffrey for putting us on those podcast services, because I have no idea what he does there. But
makes the car rides go fast, and the gym.
It is a team effort, and I appreciate you, Jeffrey, and I love you, and I love the channel and the content that we make. And it's yes, thank you for watching, everybody.
All right, love you, Nick. Thanks for that. See you next week, everybody.
Bye.
Tell us what you've been playing in the comments.
Yeah, that too. Bye.